A world-class contract killer finds an envelope at his dead drop. Inside are $23.42 in small change and a letter handwritten by a 9-year-old girl. What's this? I pick up the envelope to find $23.42 in change falling from the improperly sealed opening and a letter. Looks handwritten. Hello. I'm Ella, but you can just call me Ellie. I'm sorry if my handwriting is bad. I've been practicing so I can write you this letter. I finally know all the words I need, so I can tell you. My mommy and daddy aren't the nicest people. They hurt others, like dogs and Lee. Oh. Lee is my adopted brother and he always shows up with bruises. They tie him to the bed and make all sorts of awful noises come from the bedroom and I don't know how to make them stop hurting him, so I thought this could be the way they stop. I know they'd be gone for good, but I'd rather them be gone for good than to hurt Lee anymore. Oopsies, I misspelled Dan. Sorry, I'm only just now getting the hang of writing. Another reason I'm okay with this is because of my older sister. We were in a theme park, but she just wanted me to have fun. She was to me what I am to Lee. My big sister and my protector. She protected me from our parents when I was young and now I need to do the same for Lee. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Anyway, I misbehaved and was going to get punished for it. Mary only wanted to keep me from the dog, though, so she tried to take my punishment for me. We both got thrown to the dog's cage that night, but one of us lived and the other didn't. They hurt our doggies, they hurt Mary, and now they're hurting Lee. Please make them stop. I put in all my money, so please. With all the hope in the world, please I beg you to save him. From, Ellie Smith. I could tell she had been crying and this letter was. I don't even have the words to describe it. It was like every backwards E and every tear stain stole the breath from my lungs, stabbed me in my heart, and refused to let me die. It was so painful, I couldn't stop crying. It's days like this that I'm glad I'm a contract killer. I won't make her pay me. She gets this one, free of charge. Time to get to work. I knew I didn't have a lot of time, and after the pain turned into a flame of fury I knew I'd end up being a bit sloppy. Turning that inner heat into laser focus would be its own challenge, but all I needed was to buy enough time to make a few calls. After the deed was done, the first stop was the local post office to talk to the friend who worked there. Our arrangement had him review any packages sent to my post box, but I opted to handle envelopes myself. The issue with this case was the address on the envelope was just Sydney, Australia. Time for some digging. 2 hours lost, 2 hours of a little girl and her baby brother in the hands of monsters worse than me. And I was still stuck in the same country. My patience was draining out, and the clerk at the International Mail Office was not helping. It grated on me, and would make things trickier later, but needs must. Talking her through her panic attack with a barrel to her head was worth it afterward. I had the Australian office in Sydney the letter came from. The hunt could properly begin. My frustration had mounted during the trip across oceans. I thought 2 hours was bad, but now after half a dozen setbacks I'd spent the last 12 hours either sitting on a plane or boarding a different one. Half a day gone just to travel. At least I had caught a nap on the second flight. I hit the ground rolling. One broken window, one cracked column, and 20 minutes later, I had one very scared delivery man pinned against his truck. I only realized I'd jammed the gun in his gut after smelling ammonia coming from his pants. Finally a lucky break, he was the same guy who picked it up, so I had a street if not a number. The bad news, that was over a week ago. He was lucky my finger was on the guard instead of the trigger when he delivered that news. I'd find him later. Time was shorter than I realized. There were a few ways I could have narrowed down which house I needed. Going door to door was old school, but would show me enough to have prime suspects. Door to door sales wouldn't have the authority I needed, though. Looks like I needed a costume for the role I needed to play. Fate smiled on me before it left the neighborhood. 2 kids hiding in a bush a few streets away, the smaller one definitely crying. I approached from an angle so they wouldn't notice me, hopefully. It's okay Lee, it's okay, Big Sis is here. We just need to stay alive, Mr. Slasher will come, I promise. Mommy and Daddy will be gone and everything will be okay, just be strong with me, okay? I'm trying Al, but it hurts so much, I can't even potty right. Flame turned to ice and the world slowed. Everything I feared was true, and so much worse. The greatest challenge would be not letting them see how I felt. I didn't want to scare them. The 20 minutes it took for them to wake let me think about what to do. After moving them and securing them I was dreaming of different ways to make them suffer. It was stupid and I knew it, I knew far better than to play games. I should have just left holes in their skulls. They would have never known I was there. But there was a better idea. After the usual confusion, panic, and anger, I got started. It took a minute for them to understand the gimmick I was going for. Who do you think you are? What is? Ellie? That little biatch, I knew I should have just gutted that one when I could. Always trying to be a dumb little hero. She's gonna learn after we get back, I don't care if we were gonna wait for her to get older. I don't care Bernice, look what she did to us. Look, what's it gonna take to get you to forget about this? Mary? Wait, how do you? You fucker. What do you care about some Brett we buried months ago? You wanna avenge her or something? Ha, too late. There's nothing you can do about it now. Those biatches would stop whining about how we were hurting that dumb chink boy, but it's not like they don't deserve it. After all we do for them, they should do whatever we want them to. Why does he even complain? He likes it now, I see him dribble. The voice on the phone cut off the disgusting rant. Stop, I've heard enough. I won't ask questions, just give me the address. The shock on their faces was priceless. Much better than the blank stares of corpses. I watched the officers cordon off the house from a safe distance as the paramedics looked over the kids. I had looked over the place myself before anyone else came. There was easily enough evidence for a sheet worse than mine in there. Justice wasn't really my preference, but seeing it happen was satisfying. And seeing their little faces relax and smile made the cleanup from my messes worth it.